Hi, I'm Louise Fletcher and I help artists to find their own unique creative voice, and today I want to answer a question that keeps coming up in the comments about saving the good bits. So I make a lot of studies. I make pieces that are free and expressive and not intended for sale or for show, but are just about helping me to develop my visual language or come up with new ideas or express some feelings, or just be in touch with paint when I don't feel like working on paintings. I work on small pieces of paper, I work on big sheets of paper, sometimes I work on canvas, pinned to a wall, and I'm often asked, oh, but how do you save the good bits? Or why didn't you crop pieces out of that big study you made on paper? Though some of those small ones, people will say, some of those crops could have made paintings in and of themselves and you could have sold them. But here's what I want to say about that. That mindset, thinking like that, is a problem. That is sometimes called a scarcity mindset. It's the idea of hanging on to things because there's not enough. And it's very damaging to you as an artist to believe that you have to hang on to good bits and crop them and turn them into things you can sell or things you can show or things you can hang in your house. And here's why. You might say, why is that damaging? It's no harm if I like saving the good bits, but I think there is. So what I think you're saying to yourself and reinforcing in yourself when you do that is the belief that you cannot make good things very often. That when you make a good thing, it's a rarity and something to be grabbed onto and held. Oh my God, I made a good thing. Quick, crop it out and turn it into a painting. God knows when I'll make another one. But that is not the truth. You and me, all of us, are infinitely creative. We have an endless supply of good things inside us. So we don't have to hang on to one that comes along if it doesn't serve us in some bigger way. So if I'm not making paintings for a show or to exhibit on my website or to sell or for my own house, if I'm making studies to learn, it doesn't serve me to stop the process when something good happens and start cropping. Now I've messed up my study. I didn't finish the process of learning. Do you see? So I didn't get as far as that idea might have pushed because I stopped when I got a good bit. And the reason I stopped when I got a good bit is a lack of confidence in myself that I can create more. So this is why I say it's damaging, because every time you do that, every time you cling to something good that you made, you are reinforcing the belief that you cannot do this very often. You are confirming to yourself your worst fear. And so you go in a negative cycle. So learning to let go of the good bits, learning to notice them, appreciate them, maybe even snap a photo if you want to, and then move on, is a way of reinforcing to yourself, I am an infinitely creative being who can do this anytime I want to. Not that exact thing, but something else just as good or better. And if you're watching this and you're a person who does worry about losing the good bits, I want you to ask yourself honestly, do you honestly feel that you are expressing everything that's inside you out on a canvas or a board or a piece of paper currently? Because I'm going to guess the answer is no, and that's why. The other place this desire to save the good bits shows up and is damaging is when we're working on a painting. Perhaps you've got this painting, it's working really well, but there's your favorite bit, but your favorite bit is down here in this corner. The rest of the painting is working all up here, but you've got this thing down here which is dark and it's grabbing attention and it's not working with the composition, but it's such a good effect. You really don't want to lose it because look what you did. It's amazing. So what you do is you start trying to adjust the rest of the painting, which was all working, to accommodate that bit down here. And never say never, but for me, I don't think that has ever worked, and I have fallen into that trap. What works is to eliminate that thing. Eventually, you give up and you obliterate the thing you've been hanging on to, and all of a sudden, you can breathe again, because now you're free to make the painting that should exist and not work around a little dot down here. So that is why this idea of saving the good bits is such a damaging idea. And when I see it in the questions, I just feel this tightening inside me, like, oh, why would I even think like that? And I wanted to share this because I hope I can help you see that you don't have to think like that either. There is nothing special about me. There is nothing special about other artists that you see letting go of stuff all the time, other than the fact that we have come to understand that we can keep creating things we like. And so there's no need to ever get precious and attached to one thing, because by doing that, we cut off the flow of another 20 things that might have come right after it. So it's all about keeping the flow going in order to tap into your best creativity. So that is why I don't want you to hang on to the good bits. Once you understand that you have infinite creative potential and that you have endless wonderful things inside you, you no longer worry about letting some of them go in the process of making your work. That's all for me this week, but I do have a free guide to finding your own style, which you may not have downloaded yet. If you haven't, it's in the description below this video on YouTube. If you're watching in Facebook, there's a link in the post. And if you're in Instagram, there's a link in my bio. See you next time. Bye-bye.